God to use y'all. You know, how do you know that you have a problem, or whenever you had first discovered you had a problem with alcohol or either drugs?
Point in time in my life where every single day that I woke up in the morning, I was popping pills, and throughout my day I was taking pills, and I didn't realize that I had a problem until when I tried to stop taking the pills, and my body just reacted differently. I was throwing up, I was pooping on myself, just not in a horrible mood. And this was in my 20s, my early 20s, when I'm supposed to be in like the highlight of my health. And it just wasn't like that. So that's when I knew that I had a problem with physically.
Right.
I just wasn't up to par.
Okay. All right.
Yes, and I can agree with that.
Okay.
I want to say I started with Xanax, they call them Xans.
Xannies.
And I also smoked a lot of marijuana, which everyone does, but it was a combination. And I also drank lean.
Okay.
So I was, yeah, so I was really, I was on a downwards trip, and I realized when I started looking at myself in the mirror, I'm an athlete. So I was always fit. So I realized my weight. I was very small. I wouldn't eat without it, couldn't do anything like you were saying. I couldn't function without it. Nothing could happen in that day if I did not have my drugs.
See, why do you need God? I mean, I hear the treatment centers and different things, you know. Even when I went to the treatment center, you know, they try to keep religion out of it. But, you know, on the side, you can still hear them speaking it. Well, to yourselves and to the viewers, why did you need God, or why do you need God?
Well, I feel like you need God, especially for the alcohol part. A lot of people don't understand that the liquor store, it's called a spirit shop.
Come on.
Alcohol is a spirit.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that because they get caught up in the, oh, it's just a drink, it's just fine. But people don't understand that they turn into different people when they drink. They don't understand that spirits that you're putting into your body. I've realized that myself, personally. Drinking too much, blacked out, and I'm somebody else. I'm functioning, moving around, talking to people, doing things.
Come on.
I'm not even there.
Right.
Me, myself, I'm not there, but it's another person operating through me.
Come on.
Doing stuff. So that's when I realized, yeah, you need God in this situation, because you can't fight them spirits by yourself.
You definitely need the power of God. You know, spirit against spirit. Come on, Karan. What?
Just a spiritual ailment. It's something that you need to fix spiritually. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm a firm believer in spirits. I'm a firm believer in the drugs and alcohol, pharmaceutical companies, like Uncle V say, that's sorcery.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in all that stuff, and I'm a firm believer that all that stuff alters your state of mind, and it alters your spirit so that you can start doing things that'll lower you as a human being. But it starts spiritually. We think it's physical, but it starts in the spirit, then it goes to our mind, then we act it out.
Say the word pharmacy, you know, the Greek word is pharmakia, which means, you know, drugs, spell, sorcery, you know, attacking you spiritually, it's attacking your mental, and it's definitely attacking your body. But notice some of the drugs that were named in the hood, you know, I remember some of the drugs that they was named in the hood. Knockout, red tape, yellow tape, you know, because it's meant to grab your mind. It's meant to make you go crazy. You know, even look at some of the liquors, you know, Crazy Horse. And I even remember, you know, when we used to drink 4 Locos. Y'all know what loco means? Crazy. It's meant to drive you crazy. Why is it so hard to admit defeat?
You have to admit defeat because you're never going to win. When you have that addiction issue, you're not going to win. Like you said before, people have had 30 years in, 50 years in, they go back and take a drink, they have lost. They have lost. So at the end of the day, you always have to admit your defeat in order to be able to at least keep up, keep yourself in the straight lane, keep yourself elevated and leveled and stuff like that. You have to let go and understand. But why is it hard?
Come on now.
Because that's going to be a constant battle.
That's right.
It's going to be a constant battle. It's a battle still today. My friends now, like I have a group of friends that still do what they do. And I have to know that, no. You feel me? And that's when sometimes you have to break away from certain friends. And that also makes it hard.
That's right.
So it's always going to be a battle. It's never going to get easy. But
I believe you still the same guy, but every time you put a pill in your system, every time you take a drink, every time you even smoke a blunt, it changes you. It takes something away from you. You feel what I'm saying? And I had to realize that and accept that and start putting stuff back in me. The prayer, the working out, to just being around good company, just to balance my life back out.
You know, next thing you know, I'm moving up. I'm serving as a minister. I'm serving, and you know, I've served as a deacon. I served as a youth pastor. And then when you get to that point in life, you helping everybody else out. I'm a husband to a beautiful wife, a father to my daughter, father to my son, great athletes. And then when you see yourself in a predicament to admit defeat, man, that's just totally embarrassing. Yeah. But you know, the word of God teaches that pride comes before the fall. You know, even though people going to be talking about you, even though people going to be, you know, saying, yeah, look how far he got. I told you that he would never amount to this or he wouldn't amount to that. You still have to admit total defeat because God always has a plan for you. He knows the plans that he has for you. Plans to prosper you, plans not to give you no harm, plans to give you a future, and plans to give you hope. And sometimes you just have to fall back and be like, I have failed. And I need some help. Let the haters talk. Because God always have a special way of bringing you back from the pit and back on top again. Starting up and not realizing. Tell me about how it was in your worst stage, what you want to share.
All right,
and getting through it, how is it for you today?
All right, I'm going to give you like a before drug addiction, during drug addiction, and like after. All right, so before, and I'm starting to notice this now.
Help somebody.
It was the neglect. I felt neglected by my dad. You feel what I'm saying?
Come on.
It was my mom had went through a period of time where her drug addiction, like she was always a functioning addict.
Come on.
But there was a point in time where she wasn't functioning to where so I had to go live with my granddad. I had to go live with my aunts and uncle. You feel what I'm saying? It was around that time. It was around that time with as though I felt as though I was yearning for something. And then that's what led me to the drugs and alcohol. And like I smoked weed. Weed was cool. I drink liquor. Liquor was cool, but I didn't like the feeling. But once I got on Percocet, that was like the perfect drug for me. Because I wasn't a big smoker and I wasn't a big drinker, but I could take my pills and I'd be good.
Right.
And so that's what led me, I feel as though that's what led me to the pills, just a yearning for something. And then once I got that feeling, it was more like a numbness. I didn't solve the problems that I had. I more so like put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound type of stuff.
Covering it up.
You feel what I'm saying? So now during drug addiction, you know, I had my ups and I had my downs. You feel what I'm saying? The ups was I was making money, doing what I had to do.
It's not always bad.
Oh no, you got a lot of ups. I'm having fun. It could be a regular boring day. But as long as I got my pills, I'm good. It made me perform better sexually at that time.
That's right.
So I thought I was good.
That's how the devil keep.
You feel what I'm saying? I thought I was good. You feel what I'm saying? So, but then fast forward to now you know that was the going up. Then I hit the climax. Now it's time to go down. And I feel as though the going down wasn't worth the going up. You feel what I'm saying? I lost some friendships. A lot of family relationships were strained. I lost money. I had ended up losing my freedom behind just making bad decisions that I probably wouldn't have made if I was sober. I just went through a lot of stupid stuff. And then I got real sick. And I could have killed myself, or I could have seriously injured myself.
That's right.
My stomach, bro. And I didn't realize until now how important the stomach is to the human body. And if you look on a microscope, I made a video about this on one of my Instagrams. Your stomach, it looks just like your brain. That if you take out your brain and you take out your stomach, it's made of the same material and it looks the same, like that pink swiggly. And what I got from that is, what you put in your stomach affects your mind. And what you put in the mind affects your stomach. And I'm putting poison into my stomach.
That's right.
So it turned my brain into poison. You feel what I'm saying? And now that I'm off, I can safe to say that I'm off everything.
I'm going to play basketball. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do all this. So it pretty much started when a coach, we went all the way to Virginia to meet a coach where they were pretty much saying, yeah, you have a scholarship here, blah, blah, blah. My hopes were up. I was excited. We went all the way there for the coach to say, we've never spoke to your coach. We don't know anything of this.
Devastated.
That devastated me so bad. And still to this day, I get choked up talking about it because that was my passion. So after that, I think I found a friend, wasn't a good friend for me. And that's when I got into the drugs. I think that was the hardest time for me.
I'm sorry, you talk about it.
And I'm sorry, I don't even want to. But pretty much once I got through going through it every single day and not really caring for myself or anybody that was around me, because I really didn't care about anyone or anything, I got to this breaking point, and I came to my dad and I was like, look, Dad, I want to go to treatment. I want to get myself together. And I ended up going to this treatment center. And at this treatment center, they overdosed me on medication. And I passed out in the hallway, and I pretty much was gone. I remember the last thing I see was the nurse asking me, was I okay? Because I felt bad that whole entire day. I felt really bad. And I can't even tell you where I was. It was just blank. I thought I died that day. And the first people I woke up to was my mom and dad. And that was the last time I've ever picked up a drug, ever again. That was the scariest situation I ever been in my life, and never again will I touch another drug. I know for now, my life is way better. I've gained weight.
Come on, share
my
your story.
My skin is glowing. I'm a happy person all the time. I noticed back then I wasn't happy at all. I wasn't a happy person at all. And now I love being out. I love being with my friends. I like going outside. I buy clothes for myself. I dress up. I look as pretty as possible every day. So it's definitely a better experience now. I've gotten into new hobbies. I figured out other things that I like, because before all I knew was basketball. So I filled my head with other positive things. Because if you keep focusing on the negative, what didn't happen in my life, oh, I didn't get to do this in my life, you can't focus on that type of stuff, because that's forever going to bring you down. And that's what I attached to the drugs, was my disappointment in basketball. So I found other stuff that I was passionate about, and pretty much now, and I'm enjoying life, and I'm enjoying being with you, Dad, on this show, being a co-producer. So a lot of new things are opening up for me, so I'm okay.
Well, before I get to Karan, I commend you for that testimony, and sharing it. And I know the viewers who are viewing this, or you hear this, it's powerful. You can literally lose your life. And if it wasn't for God speaking to me, I would have never known to come to the hospital. And I just grabbed my wife and said, we got to get down there. And we got there, we got the prayer warriors on the phone. Because again, we dealing with spirits. So many young people have lost their lives, And the prayers went forth, the angels were dispatched, I laid hands, and we pushed this thing back. And as you say, she never looked back, Someone who's getting ready to go into treatment, and they never been in treatment before. What would you share with that individual if they're going into treatment and they scared, they never been in their families, never had to put their child in the treatment, but they know that their child is going to die from this? What would you share to that family and that individual?
I want to say, from personal experience, I want to say, as for the person that's going in, my advice to them is to, I know it's easier said than done, but you have to stay positive.
Right.
Going into a treatment center for someone with an addiction and doesn't want to be there can seem like they're being placed in jail, like they're being placed in a psych ward, like they're being placed in a solitary confinement. And that's never fun for a person who has an addiction.
Ooh.
But you have to keep a positive mindset, because this is their time to heal, renew, get their minds right, and figure out who they were before this drug. Who can they be now?
Come on, daughter.
So yeah, that's my advice.
But you know what I heard also, India, what you were saying? Enabler. And I even looked into this camera. You know, to you individuals that's getting ready to come home, you know, from getting your help and the things you need, the devil coming for you. He doing push-ups. You know, he wants to taint you again. He's going to attack you spiritually. He's going to attack you mentally. He's going to attack you physically. He's going to send cravings for you. He's going to send those temptations to you. It's like, do you have your gold? Do you have your materials in you? You got to stay with it, because the enemy is coming back for you. And I want you to stay strong. And I want you to be encouraged. And that's all I have. And I thank y'all for tuning in with me and my wonderful guests right here, my production team. Until next time, I'll see you again on Cutting It Up.